Hi, Judy and Ken. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Morning.
Hi.
So we are talking with Judy and Ken about the Faithful Friends program, which is now in its third decade of supporting Shalom Mountain. And Judy is, of course, the brains behind the program. So just a little bit about how did you find out about Shalom Mountain?
I was part of just a couples group. We would get together once a month maybe, and most of the group was made up of people who went to a particular church. I don't know the name of it, and I don't go to church, so I didn't care. They were. So one of them was Marguerite Chandler, and the man's name was John Falstick, Faul.
Stick.
Stick or H, John Falstick.
But back in those days, Jerry was doing retreats at a retreat center in Pennsylvania. That was before the Shalom Mountain Retreat Center was discovered. And Judy went there with other folks in the group.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So even pre the Shalom as we know it, you have been a Shalom Mountainer.
Yep.
That's awesome. And you two met at Shalom Mountain. And what was your experience there?
Well, I was blown away when I first went because I was astounded. We quickly honed in on the fact that my father and my mother split up when I was 5 years old. And I was angry about that all my life. And I got to express all those feelings of frustration on my first Shalom mat trip.
And so after you had been there for a while, you were really involved with turning the center into a nonprofit, and then the idea of Faithful Friends came to you. Can you tell me about that?
Way more time in between the beginnings and that. That's
only a few years
after
you started it that you said monthly contributions like we do in the Hunger Project.
Right. Well, the Hunger Project for me was, probably still is, a real it's a great model for getting together about a particular subject and getting behind it in whatever way is appropriate for it, whether it was money or something else. So it was just a matter of putting different,
just taking the model and
adapting it for Shalom. And I was very active. Yeah.
Oh, it's just such a, to implement that in the 90s, it's such a forward-thinking model. And it's been so successful in helping to support Shalom through the years. How do you feel about that contribution you've made to the mountain?
Did you think? Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it's there for a lot of other young women. And I always think of it in terms of being a real gift to women. I know it is for men too, but I can only look through the women's, the eyes of the woman. I will leave it up to the men to. they have their own shtick that they need to look at. So anyway, by the time Jerry, let's see what happened.
We'd been there from early on. It started in '76 as Shalom Mountain Retreat Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was 1991 that Jerry decided to move to Timchel and create a whole new space and see what his life would be like. And Joy and Lawrence took over. And Lawrence started a training program to get more leaders because Joy was busy getting her certification as a Jungian therapist,
And yeah,
and she was going off to New York. And so we worked with Lawrence to do what was needed for Shalom Mountain while Joy was off learning to be a better therapist.
young Ian.
Well, thank you so much for bringing the model of faithful friends to the mountain. We are all so grateful that the mountain is there and has existed for all of the myriad people in the interim to come and find it. So I really appreciate what you've done.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate this. There's someone who's taking a deep interest in it to see what its next steps are.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It has been absolutely lovely to talk to you. And we'll see you later. Bye, Judy.
Okay. Take care. Thanks.
Bye.